Hi, I'm Brandon Moon with Moonlit Fly Fishing. Today I'm going to be tying the Copper John soft hackle. This is the nymph pattern I fish for a traditional Copper John nymph. I really enjoy soft hackle nymphs. I believe them to be a little more productive. For me anyways. I like the action that the soft hackle gives to it and the triggering response that it gives to the fish. So that is one of my favorite patterns right here. I'm going to be tying kind of my October caddis Halloween pattern. This is going to be tied on a Moonlit Tagata hook, okay, standard wire forged jig hook. The forged jig is going to give you a little bit stronger strength for a standard wire. I'm also going to be using a Moonlit slotted tungsten black bead in a 3mm, so this is going to be able to get down really fast. For my thread, I'm using the 12-aught fluorescent orange. This is on my Norvise automatic bobbin. So let's get started. Already got my hook pre-rigged here, so we'll put it in. I'm gonna place this up a little bit higher than I normally would, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now, one of the reasons I really like using the Semperfli Classic Wax thread is that this thread is a single strand twist, so it's going to lay flat, it doesn't build up bulk. Okay, so I'm going to put this tag end at a 45-degree angle, and the reason I'm doing that is that at that 45-degree angle I'm going to be able to push each wrap next to the previous wrap, and that's going to give me a nice good underbody. Now on this I create a high-vis butt, but I put a ribbing in that high-vis butt with the Semperfli metallic thread in the cobalt blue. So I'm going to get me just a little piece of that off. Okay, now I'm just going to tie that in at this point. And wrap downwards down that hook. Just bend the hook a little bit. I'm going to wrap back up, clip off that tag end. Now I need to put a little bit of dubbing on this right here before I tie in my goose bite tail. And the reason I put a little bit of dubbing in there is so that it helps kind of push the tail outwards so that it splays away. For my dubbing I'm going to be using this Vicuna dubbing. Okay, I'm going to be using Fiery Brown. I don't need very much, like a pinch of a pinch, because it's just going to create a small, tiny little ball. like that ball quite. Do that over. I wrapped that a little too far back, so I'll put a little more wax on there. Okay, I'm going to take Inferno Bites by Semperfly in the fluorescent orange. You can see there's a curvature to this bite. I want each point to face outwards, so I want it to be roughly the length of the hook shank. You can tie these in together. I found it's easier for me to tie my goose bites in separate. Okay, now we'll take the other one, and now I need to curve the point away from the hook again. That one moved on me. Just place it back up there where I want it. Kind of give it a little pinch. Rotate those just a little bit so that they're in place. Now I'm going to trim these off so I can finish tying them in. I'll set my hook down just a little bit, making sure I don't tie in where my thread is going around the back of that hook. Okay, so now I'm going to take light gold and black Semperfly 0.2mm wire. We're going to tie these in on the side closest to me. Now we'll wrap forward. Need to go back just a little bit right here. Because I need this to be at the bend of that hook. I tied that in just a little bit far forward. Half hitch, so I can use my rotary here. I'm going to take the first couple wraps I really gotta pull that back. Yeah, I'm just going to take my rotary and wrap that forward. Now that I've got it started, it's a lot easier. I'll take, after a little bit though, I do want to kind of pull it back, pinch it just a little bit. About 3/4 of the way. That looks good, because I'm going to have to tie in my legs here. Better give that another wrap. Now we'll take and helicopter these 2 wires off. Okay, now I'm going to take this metallic thread and wrap that rib going up now over the top. Now we'll tie that off. Trim off the tag end there. Okay, now I need a little bit of another pinch of dubbing, just kind of like last time. Before I tie in my legs, I put a little more dubbing in there, and the reason being is this is going to help when I tie the legs, goose bite legs on this. It's going to help push them up. It's going to make them look like they're coming out of the body. Okay, now I need to turn that upside down because where this is a jig hook, it rides inverted, so I need the curvature of that tip of that biot to curve upwards, and I want this biot to go to the back of my fly. And I tie it just on the side there. Okay. Now I can kind of change where that's situated. Yeah. Now I'll take the other one and do the same thing. I'm going to move that in front just so that I lock those in. Okay, that locks those both in place there. Now I'm going to take and trim these off. Now I'm going to take some more dubbing. Not very much, just a really small, fine amount. Making sure I don't crowd too far forward on that. Okay, now I'm going to take my Brahma mottled burnt orange, pull. For a size 14, you're not going to get a whole ton of those. They're going to be towards the bottom of that. So here I have my feather. Okay, I need to get all this fluff off. Don't need it. Now I'm going to actually rotate this so that I'm tying it on the top of the hook shank. It's a lot easier. I'm going to be tying it in this way and wrapping over the top that way. So I'm going to take this side off, strip it that side bare. So this is what I'm left with. Okay, so I have my tie-in point. Gonna lay that across right there. Secure that in. Now I'm just gonna take and trim that part. I'm going to trim down the stem just so that it's not so long, a little easier for me to use. I'm using the Loon hackle pliers. Now I'm going to wrap this. Okay, now I'm going to wrap, and each wrap I'm going to push that back, and each wrap on make sure not to trap any fibers. So that I can make sure I'm palmering that backwards. I'm just going to zigzag in there to make sure I'm not trapping fibers. Pull those back. Now I can trim off finish my collar. On this one it's got that nice hot spot collar. Three-turn whip. I used the Loon ergonomical whip finish. It's got the little snip tool at the end, which is nice. Just pull my thread, snip it off. Now you can finish just like that and be just like that and you're done, or you can take and coat it with some UV glue. I like the Solarez Thin Hard. Take and put just a little on there. This is going to help make this really bright collar even stand out a little bit more, protect my knot, and also protect my tungsten bead just a little bit. You could use like nail polish, clear nail polish, to do this as well, which actually I've been told works a little bit better on your beads to protect them because it doesn't cure quite as hard. Okay, take our UV light, cure that up. You can see how bright that is. And that's our October Caddis Halloween version of a Copper John soft hackle. You can see we've got those legs coming out. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.